Welcome to the Hiscall Technology Podcast, where we are communicating tomorrow's business needs today. From just outside Nashville, Tennessee, join Hiscall as we discuss all things telephony, data, and infrastructure related to business leaders. Here we go.
Hey there, this is Chuck. I'm glad you're joining us for this episode of the Hiscall Technology Podcast. One of my favorite things about working at Hiscall is providing market-leading products that allow customers to realize the benefits of a modernized communications solution through increased collaboration and productivity, resource optimization, reduced cost, and greater customer satisfaction. It excites me, I'm energized and motivated, and it creates an environment where I am continually learning. Today, we will be talking unified communications with a company recognized with the 2018 Communications Solutions Product of the Year Award, the 2018 Unified Communications Product of the Year Award, and 2018 Cloud Computing Product of the Year Award. Let's welcome Tina Caudle, Hiscall's Channel Account Manager for Digium, a Sangoma company.
Thank you. Good morning, Chuck.
Good morning, Tina. I'm so glad you're here. You're here today talking to some of our folks here, just continue to train us. Digium, a Sangoma company, is relatively new to Hiscall's product portfolio, and you've been leading the effort to get us onboarded, trained, and ready to represent Switchvox in the marketplace.
That's right, Chuck. And I work with partners all over the Southeast. I have 100 partners of Digium Sangoma who sell our Switchvox product, which is what have brought Hiscall on board to sell as well, to small to medium-sized businesses. And it's a great solution. I'm happy to tell you about it.
I'm excited for you to tell me about it. I'm anxious for our prospects and customers to hear about Switchvox. So you said 100 partners. What states in the Southeast do you cover?
The southern 7 states. So that's the Carolinas, Mississippi, Tennessee, Alabama, Florida.
A lot of area, and I guess you get to travel some.
I do.
So, well, tell me a little bit about Digium, a Sangoma company. I know headquartered in Huntsville, Alabama.
That's right.
But tell me a little bit more about it.
Okay. Digium was first known as the Asterisk Company. We are the creators and maintainers of Asterisk. And Asterisk today is the world's most successful open source telephony project. Basically what Asterisk is a toolkit that developers can create any kind of communications application they can dream of. But it is a build your own kind of solution, and it requires some pretty deep technical skills. So Switchvox, which is what Hiscall will be selling and supporting their customers with, is Digium's turnkey plug-and-play solution for small to medium-sized businesses. I like to tell the Asterisk story because Switchvox, like a lot of other phone systems, is actually built on the Asterisk engine. We believe we do a better job of it with Switchvox because we control this Asterisk engine and support the open source community that contributes to the Asterisk project. So as new features come to us through this large open source project, where it makes sense, we're able to kind of simplify those features and pass them along to our Switchvox customers in the way of a software update. So the benefit to your customers, the end users of Switchvox, is that we're constantly adding new features. A couple times a year, we'll roll out a new set of features. And these are features that customers and partners like Hiscall are telling us they need in Switchvox. And that's at no additional cost to your customers. So that's really the beauty of Switchvox being built on the Asterisk engine.
It is a very interesting concept to me that Digium was sort of the owner and creator of the Asterisk engine. Last year, you were acquired by Sangoma Company. And I read that together, Sangoma and Digium is the largest supplier of open source communications solution. Sangoma is committed to supporting the open source community there as well, right?
Absolutely. They are thrilled to now be the Asterisk company along with Digium, but they also are committed to Switchvox, which is Digium's and Sangoma's flagship product. So keep in mind, that's the turnkey plug-and-play solution for small to medium-sized businesses. And we at Digium, the Digium team, we're now one big team, but we're very excited about the new products that Sangoma brings to the table. And it actually opens some new vertical markets to partners like Hiscall that we weren't real competitive in before. Like they have a lot of high-density gateways that support analog devices, traditional analog devices, and that's always been a challenge for Switchvox. But with the high density gateways that Sangoma is a leader in, it gives us a real cost competitive solution to support high numbers of analog devices like you see in nursing homes, hospitals, dormitories, any place where there's a lot of analog devices. So we're real excited about what the value that brings to Switchvox and partnering with Sangoma on that. They also have a really nice wireless DECT products for, a lot of our customers require DECT phones, and we were selling another brand and, recommended to our partners another brand. So we're real excited to have a very cost competitive, solid DECT wireless phone solution through Sangoma. And then they also have a great SIP trunk offering. And the thing I'm most excited about that I'm putting on all of my proposals is they have a great fax solution. A lot of schools and colleges, universities, city governments still use a lot of fax machines. Like a typical small college might have 40 fax machines on their campus. And that's difficult. That's a challenge for a traditional VoIP system because that's analog again. So Sangoma has a very cost-effective fax solution that can support those legacy fax machines out there as well as provide eFax to your customers. And it's super cost-effective and it works. A lot of companies have fax solutions out there, but they're a little risky. So we're real excited to have a good, solid fax solution that's low cost, and it saves customers a lot of money and provides a real good solution.
It's good to know we've got gateways and things that will take this IP environment, allow faxes to continue to work and work reliably. With SIP trunks and migration to all IP phone systems, faxing has been a challenge at times. Let's talk a little bit about the Switchvox platform in particular. As you mentioned, it's an out-of-box VoIP phone system. It's available for on-premise or as a cloud-based solution. There are some different deployment models for a customer to choose how they want to roll it out. They can deploy it on-site or in the cloud. On-site can use dedicated server appliances. One little server, 4.5 by 4.5, so really small, but supports up to 150 users and 50 simultaneous calls. On up to full-size servers that will support. What's the maximum capacity we can?
1,000 users today, but that's a moving target. We're working to increase that too. But today, Switchvox is supported up to 1,000 users.
Yes.
And that's with the premise-based version or the VM version of Switchvox.
In addition to the server, if a customer has TDM requirements, being analog or PRIs or something, that's where the VoIP gateways come in that we talked about. But you also manufacture some very nice desk phones. So when we start looking at the user experience, what the end user is going to interface with every day are these really nice looking desk phones. Tell us a little bit about what's offered there.
Yes, they are. They're just beautiful. They're color display. They're brand new. I mean, they've just been out for a year. And with newer technology, as we've learned, usually the price tag is a little lower, so they're very cost effective. The entry-level phone retails for $139. It's got that beautiful color display. It's got soft keys. It's very easy to learn how to use. The system actually tells you how to use it. It presents the features you need based on where you are in the call. All of the phones have 1,000 user speed dial capability. They have one button to change your status if you want to show your coworkers that you're gone to lunch or in a meeting. They all have call logs, so you can see every call that's come in or out of your extension and just touch one button to return those calls. And then you can also see the status of your coworkers. You can see at a glance who's on the phone and have one button touched to call them. All of the phones have HD, so it's a really nice sound quality. Both
high definition audio.
High definition audio on the handset as well as the speakerphone and microphone. They all have built-in speakerphones and then a hard key for the headset speakerphone and microphone. And then they all have hard keys for the most used features like call transfer, hold, and conference, message waiting. So they're just really easy to use and they're super slick looking. That's the basic entry-level phone. And then we have, as you mentioned, the award-winning D80 phone, which is an all-touch screen. There's no buttons on that phone. It looks and acts kind of like an Android tablet where you swipe to see your coworkers, you swipe to see your call logs. Just real easy to use, and it's just got a real nice, slick look to it. Another requirement that we're hearing more and more now is Bluetooth capable. And the D65, our executive type set, as well as the D80 touchscreen are both Bluetooth compatible, which is really nice. and then they also come in a gigabit version.
All important features to have today. The D80, what apps are on there?
What I like is just being able to swipe and see everybody in my group who's on the phone. I can touch one button to call them. I've got the option to leave them a voicemail, to ring their desk phone, ring their cell phone, transfer a call to them. Very easy to page from there. Those are the main things that I use it for.
Yeah. The color screen, it makes a really nice interface. When you start talking about a user status, you want to be able to easily see that, and to have the color screen is really important as you're changing status. You've got a page up you mentioned of all your contacts there. You want to be able to easily scroll through there and identify which ones are available or out of the office or gone to lunch or busy or whatever they might be. The desk phones are good, but you also have a user interface on the desktop, Switchboard.
Yes.
Talk to me a little bit about Switchboard and how a user would use it, what they would use it for, where it comes into play working in conjunction with the desk phone.
So the switchboard is basically just a live window into your phone system. Not everyone will use it. You know, a lot of people are up and moving around and not sitting at their desk, but for those power users who are placing and receiving a lot of calls, or maybe you manage a group of people who make their living on the phones and you want to be able to see that activity live, Switchboard is a great tool for that, and it's free. Every user gets it. They don't have to use it because they still have a phone on their desk to place and receive calls, but it is a live window into the system. You can see the entire company who's on the phone. If you have special permissions over those people, you can even see who they're talking to and be a part of that call. For call center type functionality, you have the ability to whisper, monitor, and barge with those call center personnel that you're managing. Maybe you've hired a new employee and you're training them on how to handle the phones, how to interact with your customers. And those are very important calls. You as a business manager want to make sure that your customers are being handled properly and communicated with effectively. So you might want to record those calls and then play it back with the employee to, critique the call, how they handled that customer. We see this in car dealerships a lot, in the customer service department or the service or sales department. They do a lot of coaching on how to handle those calls, how to respond to specific questions. And then you can also have a feature where that call center manager can actually whisper in and help the person they're training, help them through the call. We call that a whisper, where I can talk to you, but the caller on the other end doesn't hear, so I can kind of coach you through the call. These are all pretty standard call center features, but with most of our competitors, you would pay extra for those features, whereas Switchvox, it's built in. Of course, it's permissions based, so we only give it to the people who need it and use it, but you don't pay any extra for it. So it makes Switchvox a very cost-effective solution for companies who have call center type functionality or call queue needs.
Switchboard packs a lot of information in there to give visibility into your system, status of folks, analytics, reporting, all of those things. And it is customizable. It's built around these widgets, right? And so I can customize it in the way that I want to see the data that's important to me.
It is, and that sounds complicated, but Chuck, we keep it really simple. Everything in Switchvox is point and click, and there's no technical terms anywhere in there. When you go to build your switchboard, it's so fun. It's just like designing your little window into your business. And you might be interested in seeing different things than what I'm interested in seeing, so we can both customize it. Or some companies may just want to build a switchboard and push it out to all the users. It's that simple to set up that you have that flexibility.
Switchboard is web-based and fully compatible with all the standard web browsers, I guess.
It's standard
right?
with any browser. You get a little additional functionality with Chrome and Firefox with the click-to-call capabilities. Of course, we deliver voicemail to email with any platform. I haven't discovered any browsers that we don't work with, but we do have a little extra functionality with Chrome and Firefox.
Yeah. Customers ask about the web browser interface very often, and so that's a really important feature. What about mobility? If I'm a user, I'm on the go all the time. You also have a mobility app for iOS or Android. What can I do with the mobility app?
Okay, so the mobile app is included. You don't pay any extra for it. But let me first say there's a lot of features in Switchvox that people think is a mobile app. But, if you just want your calls to ring your cell phone, like maybe ring your desk phone a couple of times and then cascade, or find me, follow me, a lot of people call it, ring your cell phone afterwards. Or like I travel a lot, so I have my call rule set up where my calls to my desk phone ring my cell phone on every call because I don't want to miss a call. I mean, I then have the option whether to take it or let it go to voicemail. Those are standard features in Switchvox that doesn't require a mobile app. The mobile app is more for people who are on the road constantly and need to communicate back with the office. Okay, so like from my mobile app, when I'm traveling, I just push my little Switchvox app on my iPhone, and I can see the status of my coworkers. I can see who's on the phone, I can see their extension, and again, I've got one touch to call them. I don't have to remember their extension number, I don't have to call the operator and ask her to transfer me. I just touch their name and Switchvox dials their 4-digit extension. Now, when I'm making those calls through the Switchvox app, my Switchvox back at the office captures those calls. So those call logs are there, those are on my boss's reports. When he wants to see my calling activity, he can pull it up, and as long as I'm using that Switchvox app, it's all registered there. So he can say, Tina made 15 calls through the Switchvox on her cell phone today, and these are the people that she called, and this is how long she talked to them. Now, that might sound a little big brother to some people, but it's very valuable information to companies who are managing a remote sales team. It gives you some accountability for those people who are using your facilities, calling on your customers.
Anymore, data is hugely important to a business. We're relying on more and more of the data to make business decisions to improve customer experience, employee experience, all of those kind of things. With the mobile app, what I like for someone who's in and out of the office all the time, I can start a call on my desk phone. If I've got a few minutes and I need to get up and get out down the hallway to my vehicle or down to a conference room, I can easily transition from my desk phone to the mobile app. And then I can turn around and come right back, switch right back to my desk phone.
Yes, and it's simple enough that you don't have to remember a lot of codes to do it. It's simple enough that it's very useful.
So one thing I noticed as you're talking through that, this user experience that we've been talking about with seeing my contacts, their status, and all this stuff, I can see that on my desk phone. I can see that in the desktop application, and I can see that on the mobile device. So across the board, I've got a similar user experience. I've got the same information available to me to make choices and interact with the Switchvox system.
Right. We say if you can't reach somebody on a Switchvox system, it's because they don't want to talk to you. They know you're calling.
So what about for administrator? We talk about switchboard for the end user. What about an administrator that is taking care of the system, that's doing moves, adds, changes day to day? They also have a web-based interface to get in there and do their job.
They do. And the beauty of Switchvox is we've designed that admin interface, we call it the admin portal, so that a small business that doesn't have an IT staff can totally do their own adds, moves, and changes. It is literally a point-and-click situation of adding a phone, moving a phone, adding a feature to a phone, doing a name change. It's point-and-click. There's no technical terms anywhere in that admin interface.
I guess the last feature I wanted to ask about is collaboration. We hear that talked about a lot. And so there's built-in collaboration in Switchvox.
There is. Through the switchboard, you have the ability to chat with your coworkers, switchboard to switchboard. You can turn that into a video chat. As long as you both have a camera on your computer from the switchboard, you can invite them to a video chat, and you can have a person-to-person chat with your coworkers. And then you can also initiate a screen sharing application. If you're on a phone with a customer and you need to share a document or share a picture or something on your screen, you can initiate that screen sharing session from your switchboard.
We've talked a lot about different things today with collaboration, call center, switchboard, mobility, and throughout our conversation, I hope you've heard Tina say it's included. So when I buy a user license, all of these things are there for me, and I can assign them to any user as I see fit for my business.
That's exactly right.
It's always a difficult conversation to have with a customer when you sell them something and down the road they learn that something else is available, but it requires an upgrade to their license or an additional license. So to be able to have it all in one, it's there, and you roll it out as you need to in your business is great. So Digium, a Sangoma company, you're the creator and keeper of Asterisk, but you also have Switchvox. So if I can get Asterisk for free, why would I even buy Switchvox, even with all the features included in it?
We get that question a lot. Most small businesses don't have programmers, developers on their staff, and that's what Asterisk requires. It's code. It's basic raw code. But, developers love that. People who can write code and create things. And Asterisk is free. It's really kind of a philanthropic offering because the customers don't pay for it. It's free. Now they have to pay for the phones that go on the end of it and the cards or the gateways that connect to the TDM services, but the Asterisk code itself is free. But again, most companies don't have the expertise to build a phone system on their own from code. So that's why Switchvox is our flagship product, because it's turnkey and plug and play for your small business customers and for our small business customers.
Focus on the business and let the communication sort of take care of itself. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I got it. As we wrap up today, I want to encourage you, go out and visit their website. They have a great demo center. They have free training videos covering product overviews, administration, and end-user training. Tina, thanks again for being in here today and recording the podcast. I want to thank you guys for listening. I hope you will subscribe and tune in next time for the next episode. And as we close out today, remember, don't be afraid, only believe.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Hiscall Technology Podcast. Subscribe to this podcast so you can stay up to date with today's business communication trends. To learn more about Hiscall solutions for your business needs or to listen to previous podcasts, visit us at our website, hiscall.com.